you have to thanks Jean Paolo for coming for meeting. So I didn't thought so. I thought that we'll be doing this online.
Okay. Better to meet face to face. Face to face.
The main reason was I wanted to experience your store. That's the only reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's really a great store. So how you came into this and what?
Yeah.
And the story behind it and why you have put up such a huge store, and also the kind of competition you have, and then your future plans related to vision industry.
Obviously you don't build this overnight. You need to have some background on it, and we do. Okay, we as Optitalia Group. Okay, it's a group that is based here in the Middle East since 27 years, maybe now. We are a distributor. Okay, mostly our core business is the distribution. So we distribute in several countries in the Middle East, many brands, many groups, I would say. So we started with Safilo, but then also Marchon, Derigo, and nowadays we are the official partner and distributor of Telios also, so all the LVMH group brands. Plus we have a separate division called First Class, which we dedicate to more independent brands. Okay, so we have brands like Matsuda, we have brands like Blackfin from Italy, we have brands like Revo, we have just acquired Bugatti, super premium brands. So we are developing that kind of business as well. So this is our core business. We have been developed also our retail, okay, which started with some shops in 2000, and everything started in 2003 with a brand called Optifashion, okay, which it was a brand belonging to Safilo. This Optifashion is an historical company, Italian company, and we can consider it as probably the first company in the world that has understood that eyewear is not only a medical tool, but is a fashion accessory. Okay, so in the early 80s, this small startup, they start signing agreement with some fashion brands, okay, like Gianfranco Ferré, like Missoni, like Laura Biagiotti, and so on. They at that time probably didn't have the finance to maintain this business model, but Safilo, which at that time was the leader, okay, the biggest company worldwide, understood that was the way forward. So when Optifashion was shaking, okay, they said, okay, let's acquire it, and so they did. So let's say Optifashion is probably the first company that really transformed the business model. So we moved from eyewear considered a medical tool to a fashion accessory, and this is because of the idea of Optifashion. Okay, Safilo acquired it, acquired all the licensing contract and agreement that it was already within Optifashion, deployed worldwide, and still today is the business model that runs the industry, I would say. Okay, and this is, we can say, because of Optifashion, or the first to have this understanding and brilliant idea was Optifashion. What happened is that then Safilo had this name in their drawers, so they said, what we do with that? It's a very nice name and important name in the industry, despite it was a small company, but with a big idea. So they said, let's convert it into a retail store chain. So they start connecting with their partner around the world, and their partner in the Middle East, it was us, Optitalia Group. So we said, okay, we are on board, let's develop the stores. This was mid-2000. Mid-2000, at the same time, Safilo had some financial issues, has been then acquired by HAL Group, okay, it was, I would say, by now, probably the bigger retailer in Europe, okay. So they acquired Safilo, but they said, okay, we buy, at least we become the major shareholder, but you, Safilo, has to stop developing the retail. we as distributor that we were developing already the retail, we said, okay, we started already. What we do now? We continue, we like the idea, so we continue doing that. At that time, we also were doing it in a franchising, so we had the license of the brand Optifashion from Safilo, and we were sub-franchising it, let's say, to actual retailer, because at that time we were purely distributors, okay, wholesaler. 2008 came, so we reached at that time maybe 20, 25 shops, okay, in franchising in the Middle East here. 2008 came, Lehman Brothers issues, financial crisis, many of the shops have closed, many of the fashion shops have closed. So in 2010, when the economy was restarting, we said, okay, what we do now? We decided to enter directly, okay, and open the store not anymore in franchising, but directly owned by us, with the same brand name, Optifashion. And so we did. 2010, we opened the first, actually, we started with a kiosk, and then 2012, the first store in Dubai Mall. And so from there, we start developing. Still, we have a mixed franchising model, because in some countries we still develop in franchising, but we have with the same name, Optifashion, but we have acquired a lot of experience in the retail business too, okay, thanks to Optifashion. So few years later, 2020, more or less, 1920, somehow I had this idea, okay, which probably was in the back of my mind since ever. I come from a family, my father had a small factory in Italy producing metal frames, which not there anymore since late 2000, I would say, and when I moved actually here in the Middle East. But I grown up in this. I grown up in eyewear, and my summer was spending it by producing them. So I know I know the thing quite well, I would say. And I see this item as something beautiful, at least in my eyes. And I wanted also the people and the customers to see the beauty and to understand the beauty. I said probably we need to show them more what's behind also an eyewear, okay? So this whole idea of vision industry, and this is also the reason of the name vision industry, because the idea is to represent the whole industry, okay? Give an idea of what the industry is, all right? So that's where the name comes from. So I start imagining the store and how it can be done, and you know, from a white piece of paper to come up with this, it takes a lot, okay, of time, planning, and then you need to discuss with the malls, finding the right location. You need to discuss with the brands. You need to discuss a lot of things, okay. But before that, in order to, when we said, okay, let's represent the industry, how we do that? It's not something simple. Yeah, nice idea, but how are you going to do that? So I said, okay, let's start from the pillars of our industry. And I said, okay, in my opinion, at least, the pillars of our industry are three, which is the fashion and luxury, which is the healthcare, eye care, and it's the craftsmanship. Okay, so I said, let's try to identify these three areas clearly in the stores. Okay, so if you see the store over here, you can clearly say on that side of that store, you see brands like Dior, Celine, Fendi, Gucci, Cartier, and Bugatti, and Chopard, and Fred, and something more is coming as well. So that's definitely give you, the customer enter and says, okay, am I in a fashion store? Am I in an optical store? Or what is this? You know, they are curious about it. And that, I would say, is where we have tried to portray the fashion and luxury side of our business, okay? Then it came to healthcare. I said, okay, we have to do something major also there. So you can see this whole area at the back of us, okay? You have this huge smart glass. This is a smart glass, so
Yeah,
obviously when...
it went.
Yeah, when a customer go in for privacy reason, obviously we can turn it off and you don't see through. So on this we have worked with Nikon. Okay, Nikon doesn't need any presentation. I mean, huge name. Okay, huge name in cameras and huge name on lenses. They started everything. Nikon journey starts from ophthalmic lenses. Then they develop. Then they develop into cameras. Okay, we had. I will come to this. In this area, we had a whole Nikon history before. Now it's a police, but I come to that. So this is the first, for sure in the Middle East, probably in the world, Nikon center, Nikon shopping shop, if we want to call it, where customer can live, let's say, the Nikon experience. The level of equipment that we have in the pre-screening room and the eye test room, it's the top notch. I mean, the best that you can find. Pretty much is an eye hospital level, I would say. Okay, any kind of test, pretty much we can have it here. Okay, so also here we wanted to give the feeling of the healthcare, of the eye care. Okay, so we wanted the customer to come and say, "Wow, am I like there?" They say, "Am I in a fashion store or am I in a eyewear store or in an optical store?" And here we wanted them to say, "Okay, am I in an optical store or am I in a clinic?" You know, so that's the kind of feeling, and this is the kind of feedback that we receive from our customers, and it works. And then the third one, the third pillars, is the craftsmanship, and probably is the one that I feel more closer to, because at the very shop front, we have placed that lab, okay, where customer can come. We have our artisans here. You also can sit with them, and they will design a frame for you. You can choose the raw material, the color, the finishing, the shape, everything, and we will produce it there in that very spot. So also there we wanted the customer to come and say, "Okay, what is this? Oh, you're making frames, seriously? And how?" So they ask how you cut it, how you do it, how you design it, how you finishing, how you polish it. It's again a whole experience that we wanted to create, and it's amazing how customers react to it, you know. And then, of course, scattered around these three main pillars, we have many other things. I mean, just to tell you, when we opened the shop, we had where you can see now this Ferragamo POP, this Ferragamo temporary kiosk, let's say. We had a temporary exhibition of museum pieces. So we have pieces of Madonna, pieces of Elton John, pieces of the Duchess of Windsor, pieces of Elvis Presley. So the original piece. So we took it and we brought it there, and it was a hit as well. People was coming and said, "Oh my God, seriously, these sunglasses were worn by Elvis Presley?" And they were. Okay, this thanks to Safilo. It's a museum Safilo that we brought here. Okay, they lend us the pieces. So, you know, the idea is to create an experience and try to let the customer experience the eyewear. It's not only you go to the shop, you have your eye test, with an eye test that has to be as fast as possible because you need to do more and more. An eye test over here, it takes at least 45 minutes. Okay. Get your frame, fit your lenses, and see it. It's not that. We want the customer to stay here, spend time as much as possible. We have a cafeteria inside. You tasted our coffee. I think you can say it's good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So it's a whole experience that we wanted to create. Now, here in these two tables, we have you know, Police, the brand Police, which I'm sure you're well aware of, is turning 40.
Okay.
Okay, so for the 40th anniversary of Police, we have recreated the whole history from the foundation, and we have pieces on the 80s, 90s, and so on, up to 2023, the latest model. So people can come and again generate it interest, okay, understanding, okay, police, yeah, remember this is David Beckham wearing it, and so on and so forth. So also here, give a piece of history, okay. At the back of it, we have our eco-friendly wall, okay. So all those pieces that you see there are eco-friendly, okay, products. So this Midori that you see, it's a brand from produced here locally. So he collects in UAE, he collects the lids of the plastic table, okay, melt them, create a bar, and work it around and produce those frames. So really 100% recycling. Weeby is an Italian brand and is a whole brand created to sustain for the sustainability of the bees, which is one of the key elements of the sustainability of our entire ecosystem. Okay, and they are threatened by the climate change. So it's a brand that has been created, of course, with eco-friendly material and for the sustainability to sustain this. C2C, incredible project from Barcelona, Spain. The owner actually is Belgium, but based in Barcelona. So they collect the plastic from the oceans. You can see the video. This video is done by them. You see the plastic, recycling it, and with the recycled plastic produce that collection. So they are seriously, as you can read, they are eco-friendly 100%. So also there we have tried to incorporate a glance also of this, of social responsibility. Okay, an eco-friendly product, is not anymore just marketing tool as it's been, but people is more and more aware and responsible, and they respond quite well to that too. Of course, we have our kids corner there. We have our sports corner here. We had a motorbike up to last week, actually, a Ducati motorbike. Ducati and Carrera, they have this collaboration. So we had a motorbike right on that spot for a few months. And people come and say, motorbike, what's doing here, motorbike? And we create that kind of interest and experience that people actually loves it. People loves it, and we have to say that yeah, people loves it. That's what makes us very proud of. Very proud of. It's not just a matter of size. Here we talk about 800 plus square meters, so it's kind of a big shop. Okay.
And how much SKUs you will be having here?
See, as you can see, what we have tried to do is to give proper space and visibility to all the frames. In 800 square meters, you can fit 15,000 frames, let's say, maybe more than that. Here we have around 3,000, more or less, okay, which is a big assortment, probably one of the biggest that you can find around. But the point is also here was not only stuff the shop products, okay, but having the right products and having been able to give the right image and space to each single brand. Okay, so we divided also the display of the products in 4 different categories. So on that side, as I told you, fashion and luxury. Okay, so we start with Dior, we end up with Chopard and Cartier. So plus we have even higher. We have Maybach, we have Bugatti, Jacques Marimage, we have Tom Brown, Matsuda, Linda Farro. So we have very luxury products on that side. On this side, we have what we call the creators. Okay, so brands like Cutler and Gross, like Moscot, like Vava, like Blackfin, Tavat, Silhouette. We can go through it. So all those, I would say, more independent brands that they have a lot of creativity within. Okay, so I've tried to select also one kind of brand per country. Okay, so For Austria, you have Silhouette. Germany, we have Porsche Design, and New York, we have Moscow. London, we have Cutler and Gross. From Portugal, we have Vava. From north of Italy, we have Coco Song, which is also an independent company that produces frames with silk material, okay, stuck in between two acetate sheets. So we are trying also to give some space to try to represent the best in across the world, you know. And then in this area we have the urban, more urban products, so massive brands like Ray-Ban, Carrera, Police, but we have brands also like Retro Super Future, more niche, still urban, I would say, Off-White. So our idea is not to be luxury, okay? So we don't want to be recognized only for that, even though we are kind of, but our payoff is we want everyone to see well and look good, but everyone. So we go from brands like Maybach at 20,000 dirhams, 15,000 dirhams, but we have brands entry level like Polaroid as well. Okay, so the point is that if you don't want to confuse your customer, you have to be able to organize the store in order to have a dedicated area for this, dedicated area for that. Otherwise, customer will say, okay, what is this? It's luxury, it's not luxury, it's entry, it's a mix of everything with no sense.
You're segregated this way and this way.
There's a kind of organization on the brands. All the massive shopping fashion brands are there at the beginning. You can see Prada, Tom Ford, Saint Laurent. On the other side, we have Cavalli, we have Bulgari, and so on. This corner here, it's all dedicated to accessories, so whatever is reading, but also chains. We have golden chain. We're collaborating with a local artist, a local brand called Izmi. They do bespoke jewelry, and they develop for us a solid gold, a collection of solid gold chains, which are doing brilliantly. We have developed this, you can see it here.
I'm about to ask you, what's this?
Yeah, this is an eyewear wardrobe. Okay, you can see it. Many other also here in the Middle East, but they have a lot of glasses. You can put it here. Okay.
It's more like a wardrobe.
It's an actual wardrobe. Yeah, it's an actual wardrobe for accessories. Yes, and it's fully custom made. Okay. It's done in exclusivity with Cletico, a company, also local company we collaborate with. You can have it in different format, only eyewear or eyewear watches, accessory in general. So what we've been trying to do is to cover all the aspects of our industry. Okay, and so whether it's accessories, contact lenses, we have a beautiful contact lenses counter there. Sunglasses, frames, marketing, bespoke, pretty much we have tried to make sure that everything is well covered. Okay, this is our contact lens corner. Okay, you can see it's a very prime location. When you enter, this is the first thing you do, kind of. This is our design hub where our artists and creators will sit with the customer to design their product. You can choose your lenses, you can choose the materials. These are all the materials, these are acetates. When you decide this is the raw material, you decide the color, the thickness, based on the design also that you like, and develop the product, which has then be produced handmade, 100% here. I'm happy to show you.
And how much is the normal price for a handmade customized?
We start from 2,500, and then depends on the type of dirhams. Yeah, on the type of work that you need to do. Okay, these are all the equipment. Ricardo is one of our artists. Okay, that is producing, designing, and producing the frames. Okay, and these are a lot of equipment that we need to. Hi.
Hi, hello, hi.
that we need to produce the frames.
So this is the one in which you keep the frame and
This is a CNC machine to do the cutting, but then we have the polishing. There's a lot of several steps that we have to do in order to reach the final.
and how much time does it take? So let's say if I keep a
I well,
2 weeks, let's say.
yes, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yes. We try to push them to do it faster, but 2 weeks, yes. It's a very demanding work. It's not something that you just set up and you do it.
Right.
I mean, Ricardo as a lesson, that his colleague, they had, first of all, you need to have that creativity within, and then we need to give them the proper training to develop that. So now they are doing this since a while, but you cannot do this overnight. Obviously, it's an actual job. Here, we just try to give a bit of idea, starting from a raw material, how we reach then the final product. So here we have a marketing area where on a usually 3 weeks basis, we rotate, so to always have something new happening in the brand. On this side, as I was mentioning, we have the creator area. So I was saying Blackfin, Tabat, Silhouette, Porsche Design, Moscot, Cutler, Coco Song. So a lot of independent brands. Here is more of a urban area, okay, more trendy if you like. Now we have this collaboration with Police for the 40 years of Police. So there is this space, as well as this is ISMI, yes. This is a solid gold chain.
So it's a chain, and plus you can put it on your glasses.
Yeah. Exactly. It's mostly start as a glass holder, but you can wear it as a chain as well. Here we have a bit of the history of Police from '83 to 2003. So the whole archive, let's say, not the whole archive, but at least the main milestones, let's say. And Police is very well known for the endorsement and the characters that they have chosen for the endorsement. George Clooney, David Beckham, Neymar later on. And it's an amazing brand. It's an amazing brand, and it's part of the history, okay, of eyewear. This is the fashion. This is the eco-friendly product. Okay, Midori, C2C, Weeby, I was mentioning. The kids' corner. Kids can come, watch some Netflix, sitting down while maybe their parents, they buy some lenses. At least they give them a peace of mind. In this area, we have the more fashion and luxury. Okay, so of course, great brands like Cartier, Chopard, Fred as well, Dita, Philip Plain, fashion. So this part is the most luxury. And the beginning is more of a fashion, high-end fashion. Okay, here is more jewelry. I would say all these brands are luxury. This is more jewelry, and here it's fashion. We have also independent brands, Thom Browne. Now we are acquiring also some Jacques Marimage, which is probably one of my favorite brands lately. Matsuda, Maybach. So we really try to cover pretty much any needs. So we don't want to be only fashion luxury. We want everyone to see well and look good, as we say.
Any brand which is left which is not there here?
There is some few additions that we're working on. But yeah, I think it's difficult to come here and not finding your right pair. Actually, if you don't find it, we'll make it for you. So that's the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, great.
Yeah. So this is Mark. Actually, is our manager here in the store.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, very experienced one, I would say. Yes. Delivering high quality. Okay, and we are really a pain sometimes when it comes, especially to optical, because we want really to make sure that the quality we deliver is outstanding. Okay. So we are a pain for the supplier, but we do it for the good of our customers, not just to be a pain, and customer appreciate that.
So is
And but we are here to serve them. Yeah. So
great, great, nice. It's like massively big, and I don't think if a customer comes with the thought of buying, he would go without buying.
no, it
I
shouldn't.
don't think.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. And if it happens, we need really to understand why, because it shouldn't happen too.